right? Don't listen. Don't listen. Brothers, don't marry a girl because she's just attractive. Don't marry a girl because she can have good sex with you. Don't marry a girl because of how she looks or whatever. No, you want to marry a woman, the woman who will bring the best out of you. The woman who, when you acting crazy, because we men act crazy, when you are indifferent and so forth, rather than her play off your negative vibes, she is then saying, okay, let me find a way. I know there's a king in him. I know there's a great guy in him. He's got problem. He was dropped as a child, meaning, he was broken, whatever. Let me bring the man out of him, because the man I married or want to get married to, I want a king in my house. I want somebody that I can adore, somebody that I can lift up. Same thing with the man. Don't marry the girl just because of what she brings in the bedroom or what, because sex is not everything, right? And a lot of women will tell you sex also helps build a more connection to the man. I mean, yeah, but it's the greatest thing for a woman is how she's treated, respected. It's how she's dealt with. It's how you make love to her mind first. That's it. Then her body is just automatic. So it's the same thing, brothers, what you need to do when it comes to a woman, to bring the best out of her. Your job is not just to, okay, she can dress well, because there's a whole lot of women, attractive, dressed well, and so forth. But honey, let me tell you something. Problems. I mean, problems, just like men. So you ladies who just looking at me like he's always hitting under women, if you follow my story, don't see, you again, it goes back to, why are you so sensitive? Every time someone says something, it's always first the negative, the attack. Listen to what someone is saying first and interpret it from their perspective, the way they intended it to be. I'm here to empower people, to let people know you can never be your best self if you enter into marriage with the wrong person. Because when you enter into marriage with the wrong person, I'm telling you, it brings misery. Some of you in marriage right now, you can attest to this. The person you're married to is not bringing out the best in you. It's bringing the worst out of you. And they're not just the fault. You too are the fault. It takes two to make this happen, right? So you got to be careful. So if you're contemplating marriage, maybe you're dating right now and you've got engaged and so forth, what is that person bringing out of you? Is that person bringing out the worst in you? Is that person also allowing you to bring the best out of them or the worst out of them? That's something you need to figure out. Number 5, I think one of the reasons why we can't be our best self is childhood drama. Remember, I mentioned that at the beginning. It's a lot of stuff we went through as a child. There are so many broken people. And especially in the African American community, so many broken people. We don't go for counseling. We don't believe in counseling. A lot of us don't believe in counseling. We think it's only crazy people do that and so forth. But there's a lot of stuff we go through. So therefore, we don't deal with it. And mentally, it's affecting us emotionally, physically. It's affecting us spiritually. It's affecting us. And because of that, it affects our family relationship. It then trickles over into the people we date, the people we get married to, and then the children we raise, the workplace we go to, the church we attend. It's a domino effect on the drama that we've created because they're broken. I've discovered this too. I've discovered there are few broken people. Anytime you bring up the idea that you're broken, anytime you try to, and again, sometimes they don't understand. You're trying to bring the best out of them. You're trying to help them through that, to get past it, because you will not fix what you will not confront. Let me say that again. You will not fix what you will not confront. So when you're trying to do that, they take offense to it. And I am telling you, there are many people, anytime you try to say, hey, you're broken. Come on, let's fix this. They a fit of rage. They are very defensive and so forth. All of us need to examine ourselves. When you need to ask God for the spirit of discernment. Lord, let me see who has my best interests at heart, who really out there want to help me to become my best self. So if you can be honest to yourself and listen, you're in a dangerous situation. If you've got some trauma in your life and you don't know and you don't believe you do, that's really sad. That's the danger. It is, how do you help someone who doesn't see that they need help? That's a huge problem. And many of you are saying amen right now. Another thing that's allowing us not to be our best self is unforgiveness. Oh, that is a huge one. Unforgiveness. We've all been hurt. We have hurt people ourselves. And one of the things I had to do, because I know me, I was a person who, you hurt me. I'm a loyalist. Oh, God, I'm a loyalist. It doesn't mean that I don't go through issues with people. I can go through with problems with you, but just because we go through problems doesn't mean I don't love you, I don't care about you, and we can't get along. I'm a loyalist. I do know when it's hopeless to deal with some people. Some people, I don't care what you do, you cannot deal with them. They're not rational at all. They're not reasonable, right? They're a problem. But I had to, for years, realize that I struggled with unforgiveness. Man, you burned me. Oof. Look at here, man. Especially when I know it was unjustified, especially when I know my heart was sincere, especially when I know that whether I did wrong or not, the sincerity of who I am, I had a huge issue with that. And I know I'm not the only one. Unforgiveness. But years ago, God delivered me from that. That I don't care what you do to me now. I don't care. I learn the moment it's done, let it go. Forget it. Forgive, move on. Don't let it fester in your heart. Forgive. If you didn't do right, okay, fine. Forgive, apologize where you need to, and move on. If you were not in the wrong and people still think you were, whatever the situation, move on. Just forgive. Do not sabotage your future. Do not hold people hostage in your life, in your heart, because you're angry at them. Let them go. Forgiveness is the best gift you can give yourself. It's not even for the other person. It is for you, so that you don't get weighed down with all of this craziness. Learn to forgive yourself. Learn to forgive others and move on. I know many of you right now can look back and can say, man, I made some stupid mistakes in the past. I did certain things wrong, or I've been wronged. Okay, fine. Let it go. If you're struggling with unforgiveness now, let it go. Here's another thing. I firmly believe this. I've seen it over and over and over again, even in my personal life. When you are done wrong, don't worry. Don't pray. See, be careful now. Some people, when people do them wrong, they're wishing bad and they're praying and wishing evil on them. Don't do that, because you better be careful of the evil you wish on people. It may come back and haunt you, right? Let people go. If you know you're not in the wrong, let that thing go. Put it out of your heart, because I firmly believe that in the end, if you are right, God's going to prove you right. Your life will become a testament. I've seen that in my own life. People have wronged me. I've seen where, and this is the toughest part. Sometimes you could defend yourself, and I learned this, shut your mouth. Sometimes silence is the best response you can give. Just be silent. Jesus demonstrated that. When he was accused of all kinds of stuff, he kept his mouth. When he was dragged into Pilate's judgment hall, the Bible says he said not a word. You do not have to, even when you have the power to change the situation, don't say nothing. Because in the end, God will prove your innocence. God will prove the purity of your heart. Are you hearing me? So learn to forgive. And finally, number 7. I think this is also a big one. It is the urge to live life excessively to gain personal satisfaction and impress people. It is the urge to live life excessively to gain personal satisfaction and impress people. Be careful. You won't become your best self if all you're doing is trying to live extravagantly, trying to live above your means. And maybe why I'm so passionate about this is because I screwed up. I really screwed up my life years ago. If I could go back and redeem the years I screwed up, man, oh God, man, how I did certain things, because especially when you didn't have it from the beginning, you didn't grow up with a lot, and now God has blessed you, you can now have plenty. If you're not careful, you mess your life up, man. Because it's personal satisfaction is what I want. I want this outfit. I want this. I got to change. I got to do that. I got to do. And a lot of people, and here's where people take offense. Anytime you try to help them be financially disciplined and so forth, they get offense. I'm going to buy what I want to buy. And it's good to put on something and feel like, good. And be careful whenever it is the clothes or the outfit that boosts your self-esteem. I could boost my self-esteem naked. I don't need clothes on me to make me feel like I'm important, I'm a man, I'm successful and so forth, right? So be careful of this self-satisfaction, trying to impress yourself. And then here's the bigger danger, trying to impress people. Because you can't be your best self when it's all about what you can gain. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices in the now in order to be greater in the future. Let me say it again. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices in the now to become greater in the future, right? And sometimes, let people talk. Let people, you don't need to impress people. Live your best life now the way you want to live it so that you become greater in the future. I hope I've helped you today. I've said a lot. I got to go. Please share this information with as many people as you can. And by the way, listen to it over and over. There's some good nuggets in this, man. Tell me how you feel. Tell me what you disagree with or what you agree with. What I said that helped you today. I really, truly want to hear from you. And I want my community to help me get the word out about this podcast. Again, thank you. I'll see you next time.